One evening, when the lake was a red sheet, we dressed and climbed up the mountain peak behind the white hotel, up the rough path, zigzagging between large spines. His hand helped me in the climb, but also swayed inside me, seeking me. When we had gained the yew tree by the church, we rested there, grazing short grass. A tethered donkey stared. An old nun with a basket of soiled clothes came as he glided in and said, "The cold spring here will take away all sin. Don't stop." It was the spring that fed the lake. The sun drew up to fall again as rain. She washed the clothes. We scrambled up the slope into the region of eternal cold above the trees. The sun dropped just in time. We entered the observatory, blind. I don't know if you know how much your son admires the stars. The stars are in his blood. But when we gazed up through the glass, there was no stars at all. The stars had gone to earth. I didn't know till then the stars, in flakes of snow, come down to fuck the earth, the lake. It was too dark to reach the white hotel that night, and so we fucked again and slept. I felt the ghostly images of him cascading, and I heard the mountains sing. For mountains, when they meet, sing song like waves. The whole night, sky came down that night in flakes. We lay in such high silence that we heard the joyful sights of when the universe began to come so many years ago. At dawn, when we crunched stars to drink the snow, everything was white, the lake as well. The white hotel was lost until he turned the glass down towards the lake and saw the words I'd written on our window with my breath. He moved the glass and we saw Edelweiss rippling in a distant mountain's eyes. He pointed where some parachutist fell between two peaks. We saw the sunlight flash in the now heavenly blue, a corset clasp. It was our friend. There was the lilac bruise, his tongue was printed in near tight. The sight excited him, I think. My light head felt him burst up through. The cable car hung on a strand, swung in the wind. My heart was fluttering madly, and I screamed. The guests fell through the sky. His tongue drummed at my breast. I've never known my nipples grow so quickly. The women fell more slowly, almost drifting, because their petticoats and skirts were gaining. The men fell through them. My heart was breaking. The women seemed to rise, not fall, a dance in which the men were lifting in light's hand, light ballerinas high above their heads. The men were first to come to ground, and then the women fell into the lake or trees, silently followed by a few bright skids. On our way down, we rested by the spring. Strangely, from so high, we saw the fish clearly in the lucid lake, a million gliding, dartling fins of gold or silver, reminding me of the sperm seeking my womb. Some of the fish were nuzzling guests for food. Am I too sexual? I sometimes think. I'm obsessed by it. It's not as if God fills the waters with mud spawning shapes, or loads the vine with grapes, the palm with dates, or makes the bull delay to take the peach, or the plum tremble at the oak's reek, or the sun cover the pale moon. Your son crushed through my modesty, a stag in root. The stuff were wonderful. I've never known such service as they gave. The telephones were never still, nor the reception bell. Honeymoon couples begging for a bed had to be turned away as guests moved out. A dozen more moved in. They found a corner for a couple. We heard weeping at being turned away. We heard her screaming somewhere the next night. The birth beginning. Waiters and maid were running with warm linen. The burn-out wing was built again in days. The staff all helped. One morning, when my face lay buried in the pillow and my rump, taken as trust, was coming in a flood, we heard the scraping at the window. Was the jolly chef. His face was beaming, hot. He gave the ward a fresh white coat and winked. I didn't mind which one of them was in. The steaks he cooked were rare and beautiful. The juice was natural, and it was good to feel a part of me was someone else. No one was selfish in the White Hotel, where waters of the lake could lap the screens of mountains that the wild swans soared between. There down so snowy white, the peaks seemed grey, or glided down between them to the lake.